Hello everybody, Galactic Gaming here, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 PlayStation 2 games that I really like, and I really like these games for various reasons. Now, whether I have memories of them, of what they're becoming future installments of franchises, and I'm going to be talking about each game individually. But before I get into it today, I just want to take the time to thank everybody that's liked my last videos in the past, and I do have the Facebook page up and running, guys. As I said in my update video, the Facebook page is up and running, and I will leave a link for that in the description. Anyway, before I get into it, just want to say thank you to everybody again. And the first game that I really want to talk about today is Ratchet & Clank on the PlayStation 2. Ratchet & Clank is still a popular franchise that's going to this day, with the newest one being on the PlayStation 5. I really like the story in the first Ratchet & Clank, especially how it progresses. I mean, we meet Ratchet very early in the game, who goes to save Clank, and he finds out he's on a mission to save the world. And I just like how his story progresses, how they form a friendship, a bond, and they continue this bond throughout the series. I'm currently playing through one on the PlayStation 4 now, which is a reboot of the first one on the PlayStation 2. I'm nearing completion of that game as well. But if you guys have not checked out Ratchet & Clank, you do not know what you guys are missing. It's a fantastic game, and it's definitely one that you guys should pick up. It's about £8, but it's definitely one you guys should definitely pick up. And if you haven't checked it out, give it a go. Okay, next up we're going to be talking about one of my favourite franchises of all time, and it's a franchise I've been with since day one. I've even played the remake, and the game that I'm talking about in this franchise is Devil May Cry 3. Now, some of you may be wondering why I chose Devil May Cry 3, although the first Devil May Cry was where the series actually started, and we met Dante, and then we got Devil May Cry 2, which was, oh my god, that was an abysmal game, and I really didn't care about that game. But Devil May Cry 3 is where the action picked back up, and it got fans back into the game. It got them all hyped up, and they wanted to see what was happening here. But now when I first seen screenshots of this in a magazine years ago, I was excited. I was looking forward to playing this game, and when I got my hands on this game, I was not disappointed at all. I mean, I just remember setting up on the PlayStation 2, watching the opening scene, and I was blown away with it. It gave me exactly what I wanted, especially after Devil May Cry 2. It brought my hype so back up, and it lives up to the hype to this day. I mean, I just really love this game. It's my favourite PlayStation 2 game of all time, and I really like the music in this game as well. The music is brilliant. The opening song is brilliant, and the music where you're fighting the demons is good as well. It's just got an amazing soundtrack for the music, and I really like the opening song, as I said, and I've downloaded that. It's my favourite song in a video game ever. And it spawned after Devil May Cry 3 was so successful. It went on to do Devil May Cry 4, which was a good game as well. Wasn't as good as Devil May Cry 3 in my opinion. And when I played Devil May Cry 5 on the PlayStation 4, I completed that one as well. Yeah, that was a very good game as well, but that was for PlayStation 4. That is for another day. But yeah, when I started playing this one on the PlayStation 2, wow, it is amazing, and Dante is just a badass as usual. He's going kicking demons' ass, and he's just fantastic. He's got his quips, and he's still quite hilarious. And I must mention Virgil, his brother, in this as well. He was very good antagonist for Dante in this one. I mean, we did see him in the first Devil May Cry, but we didn't really find out who he was until later in the game. He didn't make an appearance in Devil May Cry 2 that I can remember. He wasn't in Devil May Cry 4 that I can remember again, but he does come back in Devil May Cry 5, and there is a bombshell there, but I'm not going to say what the bombshell is. It turns out that he's related to somebody else in the other Devil May Cry 4 games other than Dante, but I'm not going to say who it is because you guys might not know. But yeah, Devil May Cry 2, I definitely give it a thumbs up both thumbs, and it's one I highly suggest you guys take a look at for yourselves and have a go, because it's amazing. I could talk about this game all day long. Moving on from Devil May Cry 3, I want to talk about a horror themed game that's like a bit of an FPS as well, and it is Area 51. Now, I really like Area 51, and I really like this version of Area 51 because it's not just a normal case, it is a steel tin, and the inside of it is amazing. I like the artwork here, and it's a really good game. Plus, it's got one of my favourite actors that voices the main protagonist. David Duchovny is the main protagonist voice here, and yeah, I really like this game. It's an alien shooter where you're shooting aliens and that, and it's very fast paced, and you have to really think on your feet. You cannot be slowing down, you need to keep focused, and it's just one of my favourite shooters on the game, other than another shooter that is coming on this list very soon. But yeah, this game, when I first played it, it's really good, guys. I mean, it's a shame it didn't get a sequel because I really like this game so much, and I just remember playing it years ago. Again, I just remember I started playing it. I thought it's going to be some kind of horror, but I wasn't expecting it to be that kind of horror for me, if you know what I mean. And yeah, when you're playing this game, you just need to be fast paced. It's the aliens that come at you full forces. It's not just aliens, you got experimented people that's been experimented on. There's all sorts of other things in this game as well. I do hope to actually go back and replay this game because it's been a few years since I played it now, but I remember what I played of it being very, very good, and I really enjoyed this one. So, but I don't know if this is a PlayStation 2 exclusive. I'm not sure. I don't think it was, but I had to have this in my collection just because of it being a steel tin, and it's one of my favourite steel tins. I do have a few other steel tins in my collection as well, but this is my favourite one. Okay, this next game I want to talk about, I've got quite a lot to say about this game as well. Now, this is a game that is a remake of an original game that came back on the Master System, I believe. I can't remember, it's been that long ago now, but the game that I really want to talk about next is Prince of Persia. Now, I like this game for so many reasons. The main reason is the mechanics of the game and what you can do in the game. If you make a mistake on the game, you can rewind time a little bit so you can rectify the mistake, and that is one of the main things I like about this game. And I just like the protagonist here, and something happens to him early in the game. I think his father gets killed early in the game, and you have to avenge him, and you use his hands to take out the enemies, take out the antagonists of the game. But there is a darkness in this game as well. There is something that causes the enemies to be cursed in the game, and you have to use parkour moves, you have to solve puzzles, and there's the fighting elements of the game, and as I mentioned, you have to rewind time if you make a mistake. Now, I do like this game a lot, and they did do two sequels, which was The Two Thrones and The Warrior Within. I can't remember which order there was, but yeah, this for me is where I really got into the Prince of Persia games, and it's just a brilliant game. And it did get HD trilogy release on the PlayStation 3, but I believe that the PlayStation 2 versions are where these games shone in the past. If you guys haven't played the Prince of Persia games, definitely please check them out, because especially the Sands of Time, I love this game. It's just brilliant. I mean, as I said, the parkour moves, the timeline mechanic, and there's so much more to do, guys. It's amazing, and definitely one you guys should have a look at for yourselves, and definitely go check this one out. Okay, next up I'm going to be talking about a game that's developed by two major franchises, and the first one is Disney and the second one is Square Enix. Now you guys should know what I'm talking about here when I've mentioned the two publishers of the game, and that is Kingdom Hearts. Now I like Kingdom Hearts for so many different reasons. First off is it's a Disney game, and what person doesn't like Disney these days? I mean, Disney's been going around for centuries now. It's been going for a long time, and Square Enix is behind some of my all-time favourite game franchises like Final Fantasy, which I still play Final Fantasy games to this day. And this isn't the only RPG game on this list. There's going to be another RPG game coming up on this list, and you guys will have to wait and see what it is, but I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out which one it's going to be. But when I first started playing Kingdom Hearts, I was wow, this is amazing. You get to play as Sora, and you get to choose 3 fighting styles from the beginning of the game, and you get to meet these Disney characters from different worlds as you're going along. You first meet Goofy and Donald, but as you progress through the game, you get to go to different worlds, and you get to go and meet different characters. You get to go meet Ariel from Little Mermaid, you get to go and meet Alice from Alice in Wonderland, and so on. There's so many things to do on this game. There's so many Disney universes you get to go in, all to stop the Heartless. And it's a very good game. It's fantastic, and it's one of my favourite RPGs on the PlayStation 2 of all time. And I've not really played Kingdom Hearts 2, but yeah, I did like Kingdom Hearts. Now I do need to go and play Kingdom Hearts 2 because I really want to get back into this franchise, guys. But if you guys have not played Kingdom Hearts and you're a fan of Disney and you're a fan of Square Enix, then you have no reason not to play this one. Okay guys, and this is where the list takes a bit of a darker turn, because I'm going to be talking about a horror game, and not just any horror game. It's a horror game that I think may flew under the radar and not a lot of people know about, so I'm here to shed some light on this game. And the game in question is called Cold Fear. Now for those of you who do not know what Cold Fear is, it's a horror game that takes place on an abandoned boat. Think of it as Resident Evil but on a boat, and the enemies in this game are just like these horrible monsters that are just very fast and they will kill you. And the music is provided by Marilyn Manson. He did some amazing tracks for this game, but then again, not many of you people would probably know this game, or not many of you people might have played this game, but it's definitely one that you guys should have a look at. If you haven't heard of this one and this is your first time shedding some light on this one, please let me know in the comments about this one if you have heard of this one, because I believe that not many people know about this game and not many people have played this game, or a lot of people just didn't like this game. But I really like this game, and yeah, it's definitely one that you guys have got to check out, especially if you like horror games. I'm not going to go too much into the story here because I don't want to spoil it for any of you guys, but yeah, think of Resident Evil but on a boat. That's all I'm going to say. Now, you do have limited resources on this like you do Resident Evil. You have to heal yourself like you do Resident Evil, and it's very eerie, especially on an abandoned boat where there's not really any way you can escape to for safety. Yeah, so you think you're trapped on a boat with all these monsters and they're coming to get you. Yeah, you kind of like trying to escape, and you're just like, how are you going to do this? How are you going to survive? It's one of them that you have got to figure out the mystery. Now, there is also things that you look at the game and then something happens and you think, did I see that? And yes, you did, because like the game plays tricks on you in that respect. It's just an engaging game and a horror game, and the enemies on this game are very smart too. They can open doors, they can run at you, they can do everything they can to get you, and I just really think that this is a hidden gem, guys, and I don't really want it to go much of a hidden gem for much longer. I would love to see a sequel to this game because this is a good game. And yeah, so if you haven't heard this one and I've shone some light, yeah, check it out. Okay, once again we're going back into an FPS, and this is an FPS that helped define the FPS genre that led to other great titles like Call of Duty. And the FPS I want to talk about is Black. Now Black is a very good FPS, and it's one of my favourite FPS on the PlayStation 2. It's Call of Duty, but before Call of Duty. I just like this story, I just like the missions and that, and I just like the difficulty on this. It can be challenging, it's not too easy, but there's parts of the game that are very hard to do. And I like the story. I'm not going to go much into the story, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you may have heard of this one already. It's not an exclusive to the PlayStation 2, guys. It is on other consoles. But yeah, this is just one of those games that I really enjoy. I really enjoy the difficulty, I really enjoy the missions, and I really enjoy the things that you need to do on this game. Yeah, you have to think tactically, you have to plan your moves, you have to be sneaky in certain areas to kill your enemies, or you can go in guns blazing if you want. The choice is completely up to you guys. Yeah, so if you like Call of Duty and things like that, you have no reason not to try Black. It is a brilliant game, and yeah, it's one of my favourite FPSs apart from Area 51, which I talked about earlier on this list today. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked this one out and you're interested and you want an FPS and you want to go back to a time when FPS was before Call of Duty, definitely give this one a try if you haven't already. And next up we're going to be talking about a beat 'em up, and it's a beat 'em up which I really highly regard, and it's still spawning sequels to this day, and it is Soul Calibur 2. Now some of you guys might be thinking, Soul Calibur 2, why have I gone with Soul Calibur 2? And the answer for that is very simple. I like this game for the characters, I like the game for the characters' fighting styles and unique abilities, but I also like the game for the different modes it has. I like the game for the arcade mode, I like the game for the mission mode and the quest mode, which I can spend hours and hours on the quest mode on this game. Even though it's a fighting game, it is a quest mode on this game that really makes the game stand out for me, guys, and it's just so good, and it's so entertaining, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a hell of a good time, and it's engaging. I think I've got everything there. But the other thing that I really want to highlight on this is, although it's on a PlayStation 2, it did get an Xbox release as well, but for the Xbox it was a different character that wasn't in Soul Calibur 2. What I mean by that is each console has their own unique character. For the system, PlayStation 2 had Heihachi, Xbox I believe had Spawn, and the GameCube version I believe had Link, and you know, these are just characters for the franchise, and these are just characters for that system, and they're still doing that to this day. And yeah, Soul Calibur 2 for me is one of my favourites in the franchise. I did play Soul Calibur 3, but after Soul Calibur 3 I kind of stopped playing them for a little while, because the latest titles I just didn't get as much enjoyment as I did in Soul Calibur 2. Now if you guys like Soul Calibur 2 and you've not checked out the PlayStation 2 version yet, give it a go. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same as every other version for other consoles, but the PlayStation 2 version for me is one I love, and I will still play to this day no matter what, and it's a fantastic beat 'em up, guys. Okay guys, it's time for a movie tie-in game now, and the game I want to talk about, which is a movie tie-in, is Spider-Man 2. Now Spider-Man 2 is a fantastic game, and it is based off one of my favourite Spider-Man films of all time. I really like Spider-Man 2, and when I found out that they were doing the Spider-Man 2 video game, I could not wait to get my hands on this game. It is considered to be one of the best on the PlayStation 2. I've heard a lot of people praising this game, a lot of people giving the game compliment how good the game is, and it doesn't just focus the story on the film, it also expands beyond the movie. And I have got to admit that those people were right. This game is fantastic. It does feature the movie tie-in, but it also does expand beyond the movie, as people have said. Now, I really like this game. I really like the fighting style in this game. I really like how Spider-Man's got all the moves, and I like everything that you can do, and you actually feel like Spider-Man yourself. Well, you are controlling Spider-Man, and yeah, and Tobey Maguire reprising the role for the game. Amazing, because I really like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that didn't like him as Spider-Man, but I really liked it. I remember when I went to see the first Spider-Man movie at the cinema back in 2002, I think it was. Yeah, I really liked that movie then, and then that was actually when I went in to get a job at McDonald's, because I went there after the movie, and I have memories of actually applying for the job there, and yeah, I got the job a couple of days after. So a few years after when they released Spider-Man 2, I went again to cinema to see that, and the game here itself, yeah, I really like this game. It's just so much to do. It's a lot of fun, and it's an open world. You can go pretty much wherever you want. You can do side quests, or you can follow the main mission, and it's a lot of fun, guys, and it's just one of my favourite Spider-Man games that's been released to date. Now, I have got Spider-Man on the PlayStation 4, which I do need to play. I've heard so much good things about it as well. If you guys have played Spider-Man on the PS4, again, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this game for me is just one of my favourite Spider-Mans, and it's just one that I will always go back to and play over and over again. And it's just an amazing game, guys. And if you guys haven't checked this one out and you do like Spider-Man films, especially when Tobey Maguire was portrayed as Spider-Man, yeah, definitely go and check this one out, guys. Okay, guys, it's time to talk about the last game on the list today, and the last game on the list is an RPG which I'm going to talk about, and the RPG game I'm going to talk about is Final Fantasy X. Now, I really like Final Fantasy X. First off, it's got a complete voice overhaul. All the characters in the game are actually voiced in this game, and that just made the game much more fun for me to play. And I really like the story of Final Fantasy X. I really like how it develops. I really like the friendships and the relationships that informed this game. I really love the story, and there's so much twists and turns, and there's so much that happens in this game, and I just really respected this game for what it was. We did get a Final Fantasy X Part 2, but that did not live up to the expectation. It was an okay game, but I just really like Final Fantasy X, and I like this particular version of Final Fantasy X for myself because, guys, I'm going to show you inside the case, and it is actually got the game disc and the special disc. Now, I've not seen many that's got a special disc, bonus disc inside this, and this like features interviews for voice cast and all that stuff, and it's just a nice little bonus to have. Another little thing that I do like in here as well is actually the postcard that comes in the front of the case, and yeah, it just made me up. It is a fantastic game, guys. As I said, I love the story of this, and you know, I just love the things, the trials and tribulations you have to go through in the game. I did actually beat the main story of the game, and I've done some of the side quests, but not all of them. I may go back and do them at some point, but I may even just restart the game again, because I had a blast playing this game. I remember playing this game, I was sitting there for hours and hours and hours, days and days and days even, and I just was so overwhelmed by how good this game was. I mean, looking back at it now, it's not held up too well, but there is a HD collection of this and 10.2, I believe. But yeah, this hasn't held up too well, guys. But for me, when I first played it on PlayStation 2, it was just a dream. I mean, if you like Final Fantasy and you want to try a Final Fantasy that you've not played, give this one a go. It is just a great game. There's just so much I could talk about. I could talk about it all day long. I could talk about the characters all day long. I could talk about the atmospheres all day long. But I'm not going to do that, guys. If you guys want more information on this game or any other games, or you'd like me to do a review of any of these games you've seen the list, let me know. But for now, yeah, highly recommend that you guys do check this one out. Okay guys, there we have it. Those are 10 PlayStation 2 games that I really like, and I would like to know what you guys thought of these games today. Do you like the games? Do you not like the games? And please let me know in the comment section below if there's any games that you guys really like and do you suggest to other people. But before I go today, my friends, I just want to say a few things. You guys are a legend, you're all important. Please take good care of yourselves. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. Please hit that subscribe button down below, and if you're welcome to my channel, welcome to Galactic Gaming. It's a pleasure to see you all here. Anyway guys, I'm out of here. Peace YouTube.